Let's work on luring that switch. Keep your left foot planted, right foot, right arm swing back. Left foot planted, right arm, right foot swing back. The dog will be on my right. Alternatively, my right side stays planted, left arm, left foot swings back, pulls the dog forward. That treat is going to be left, left, left. My dog is going to be on my left. The treat is going to be on my left. Everything on the left is going to move if my right is staying planted. In this scenario, my left stays planted. Dog, treat, right foot, right arm, move. I tossed a reset treat to see if she'll come back and work with me again. Oh, is she behind me? Okay. My left side is going to stay planted. So my right side, hand, foot, dog, treat, are moving. Love that. Now we're going from the right to the left. We are using luring, the idea of taking a treat, putting it in front of the dog's nose, and allowing them to follow it like it is a magnet. As we saw in class, some of you are going to have to work on teaching your dog to follow. If you get stumped, if they sit, if they lay down, try tossing a treat off and then picking them back up with the magnet as they're moving towards you. Practice a couple times. It's not going to be easy the first couple times. It will get better. Spend a couple minutes doing it. End on a good note, end on a bad note, but end with a lot of praise and treats for your puppy. If things are very fluent, like it was with Kiwi, try adding a leash. I'm going to show you me holding the leash either with the treat or without the treat. So initially, right hand side is moving, the leash is in the left. I'm going to reverse it. I'm going to actually have her switch sides, which is the goal of this exercise. And I am switching where the leash is. The leash is in the opposite hand of the treat. Sometimes, if I have one dog, I am going to keep the leash and the treat in the same hand. We're going to demonstrate that in a second. So here we go. I want my dog back to my right. So I'm putting that treat in the leash hand, swinging her around. Sometimes that's a nice way to keep the leash short, keep everything with the dog. I actually find it more complicated when walking my two dogs. The reason I want them to switch is so that we can move them out of the way of something coming at them. Good job. Good puppies. Reset treats. I'm going to replay the same 3-minute video you just watched. I just want to talk about it a second. As we are introducing this cue, my focus is really on having you guys be nice and clear with your body language. If you're bending over your dogs, if you are not certain about where your treats are, if your treats aren't easily to access, if your dog doesn't understand how to follow a lure, learning this skill can be a lot harder. So I'm trying to break it down into 3 steps. Know where your body is, then work on focusing how to have your dog actually follow the lure to earn the reward. As we talked about in class, sometimes we have to break down even teaching a lure into much smaller steps. The head coming towards the treat in your hand, the head and a paw coming towards the treat in your hand, and then them being able to follow it and move with it from the left side of your body to the right side of the body. Then I want to add a leash. To complicate that issue, I want to add a leash before I even add a verbal cue that teaches my dog to move left to right, or to be able to do this on a leash, or to be able to do it around distractions. So I'm breaking down a bunch of steps, focusing on them, and giving you some time and space to be nice and clear with your puppies and to learn potentially a new skill for you. How do you lure your dog? I like the body movement for Bug, especially my shepherd, because she's such a long dog. It's easier for her. Kiwi honestly spins in a tiny little circle next to my leg half the time. But I'm going to demonstrate with her just to make it look nice and pretty the way I want it. So when we're getting the leash in our hand, we're talking about ways to hold the leash and the treats that make you feel safe And that will be more effective when, if you have somebody coming towards you on a sidewalk, you can ask your dog to peel off from your left hand to your right side. So you are in between that person coming at you and your dog, or if you would prefer, the dog is in between you and that person. The switch is a lovely way to decide how your body prevents or allows your dog to have access to different things in the environment simply with proximity. Focus on the luring skill. If that's your takeaway this week, I'm going to be thrilled. If you feel stuck with something, if you thought it was going great, if you got frustrated, if you don't know where you're going next, take a break, take a treat, toss it off, see if your dog comes back to you. If your pup comes back to you and they want to keep training, great, keep going. But if you need to take a break, you can just drop a couple treats down and be like, all done, take a break, think about what you were doing, and I'm going to encourage you, record yourself, even for a moment.